All right, guys, welcome back to the Point Guardian, where we try to get 4 people in a room and fail miserably every week.
And we talk about the Lakers every week.
Lakers.
And only the Lakers.
And only in Lakers. My name is Marquez. I'm the managing editor.
Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Richard. I'm the associate sports editor.
Oh, I'm the actual sports editor.
For now, because
Yeah.
he might get fired before the end of this podcast, honestly.
Yeah, probably.
I'll
sign my papers right now.
So we don't really have a plan for today. A lot of stuff happened this past week. People got mad at Dario Saric for dunking at the end of the game, which I thought was completely hilarious. Did you see that? You did not see that? Okay, so it was
I've watched one basketball game this entire week.
Oh, man.
So it was yesterday. It was the end of Philadelphia against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Philadelphia was up like 10 or something like that. Just like
something like that.
and they were running out the clock, and Dario Saric gets the ball, and he's alone. He just dunks it. Like, no showboating, no anything. Just he dunks it, and you see like Joel Embiid is just looking at him like, "What did you do?" Like,
he's like, "Don't do."
He's like, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
And Jordan Clarkson gets the ball, and just like throws it at Dario Saric.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
yeah.
straight up looks at him and like
Yeah.
it's not even like maybe I'll tap it off his back. Like straight up.
Like he's just like, oh.
Yeah.
And then so he gets ejected.
Oh, did you see
then-
ejected?
Yeah,
Oh.
no, Clarkson got ejected, and then LeBron James comes in, and he looks like super mad, and there was like a lot of people saying like he collided with a ref, which I saw. Like he was like pushing a ref away, and it was like any other play would have been like thrown out, but of course it's LeBron, so he stayed in the game.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people also like went back and saw that he made a comment earlier in the season about I think it was that Warriors
Jordan
player.
Bell at
Jordan
Mavericks.
Bell like dunking the ball at the end of the game. He was like, yeah, I just play. And LeBron was saying, yeah, I just play until the end of the game. Like you do like basically you do you, and now I'll just play until the end of the game. And when someone does it against him, like he just like goes crazy. And I was just like, this is so hypocritical.
The commenters the casters were saying that he was like, fake getting mad, fake angry, in the same way that coaches get angry just
That he has to.
rile the team up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they were like, it was the end of the game though. They
Yeah,
were
but
losing.
it's
I don't know.
It's a moral thing, I heard they were. I mean, they've been losing, right? I haven't been following that much.
Yeah, they have been like they're on a 3-game losing streak, I think,
Yeah.
and they've lost like 4 of the last 5
Yeah.
after the All-Star game.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
So does this have anything to do with J.R. Smith getting suspended
Oh,
for
that's-
throwing a bowl of soup?
No, I don't understand what that is.
No, because he did not play yesterday, J.R.
Okay.
Smith.
Which is
So
why-
that was not related. But that was So Cleveland is doing Cleveland things.
What kind of
as
soup do you
usual.
think it was?
Clam chowder?
Noodle soup.
I was gonna say clam chowder.
I don't know.
In Cleveland?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
it's
What does Cleveland have?
Nothing.
Oh.
That's why.
I'm sorry
the
for our
problem.
Cleveland listeners.
Well, we can talk about. Let's just talk about the Eastern Conference for now. It's funny because we had this conversation, Alex, like last week. We were just going through the playoff teams, and like highlighting how close they were. And like after like a few games this week, like literally everything switched. Like teams just went like crazy. I think it was more crazy in the Western Conference. I think Portland is at 4 or 5 right now.
Oh, God, really?
What?
San Antonio was like previously at like
3?
7, and then they jumped back up, and now the Thunder's at 7, which would make like a Thunder Warriors first round. It's just crazy.
The Lakers are coming.
And
they are.
we both predicted New Orleans to be done, and New Orleans is like on a 7-game winning streak.
Oh, yep,
Yeah.
they're
Um,
six.
Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis,
man.
yeah.
Oh my God. Franchise play. Like, I want him. I mean, I'm not on the Lakers because that's not happening. But like, I would want.
I mean,
Bill
yeah, on the
around him.
Lakers.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah, why not?
Like I. Can we like talk about him?
Yeah, sure.
Let's talk
Like,
about him.
I just think New Orleans has dropped the ball so bad in terms of the personnel that they've surrounded him with.
Yeah.
Like minus Boogie, but Boogie's out. Like with Davis and Boogie, what do you need? You need 3-and-D players. Who do they
Yeah,
have?
he needs shooters.
Okay, so they have Drew Holiday, who can.
Let's not go over who they have. I remember doing
yeah,
this
yeah.
like
No, okay,
literally
well-
2 months ago.
Well,
and
okay, well,
seeing,
what
like,
I'm saying is.
they're for Jean Rondo.
Yeah, yeah, right. So what I'm saying is like they don't like they have
They
like
have no
Dante
one.
Cunningham. They
They
have
have
no
no
one.
one. Yeah.
Nor I mean Ian Clark, but like it's ridiculous.
Nicola.
Oh
Nikola
wait,
Mirotic,
yeah,
they have him
Mirotic, right?
now.
So I mean that kind of helps them a little, 3-point shooting wise.
Yeah, so the problem, I don't know if it's a problem, but more so the fact about Anthony Davis is that for the longest time he refuses to play the 5.
Oh yeah.
And so they played him like the past couple of years. They played him with Omer Ashik most of the time, which it's Omer Ashik. And then now this past year they play him with Boogie, obviously. So Anthony Davis plays the 4.
Mm-hmm.
But Anthony Davis is this 6'11" or like even the 7-footer who can basically shoot threes, and is just like one of the best rebounders in the game just because of like how he is physically, right?
Yeah.
And he's the ideal like 5
Small ball 5.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because in this draft class, like next year, there's a lot of players similar to him.
Really?
Not necessarily with the same skill set,
Yeah.
but just like long dudes that can actually handle the ball, like Mo Bamba, DeAndre Ayton, even Marvin Bagley. Like they're all like 4 or 5. Like they can switch. Jaren Jackson Jr. from Michigan State. They are all these players that basically have the same profile. So Boogie goes down and he finally starts playing the 5, and it's just like, and the guy could literally average 40 and 15. Nobody would like be surprised.
Straight up.
Yeah. And it's just like I think he's averaging like 35 and 13 since Boogie went down, something like that.
Jesus.
And he's just carrying it's really funny because then there's like a whole debate about like empty stats also around that kind of like performances, except that he actually wins.
Yeah.
Like if they were losing those games, people would be saying like, oh yeah, he's averaging 35 and 13, but like they're not winning games.
No, but he's like literally carrying them right
yeah, yeah, he's literally like the only above average player on that team. Maybe that's not true, but like it's really really interesting to see that like he doesn't want to play the position that would literally make him a like perennial MVP if he played that.
No, I agree.
Like if New Orleans was like a 3 or 4 seed with him playing a 5, he'd be the MVP.
Definitely.
Just because he's like, but then there's like a lot of stuff going on. Like, can he play like this for a full season? Blah blah.
Injuries and stuff, but I mean.
So assuming that there are no more injuries on that team, do you think like he is enough to carry them to like a close playoff series or even a victory?
I feel like especially in the West, it mostly depends on what the matchups are.
Okay.
Like I think the only 2 sure things right now are probably that Golden State and Houston are making it out of the first round,
Yes.
and most probably meeting up in the conference finals. Right? That's. I wouldn't like wage my life on it, but I think that's the most realistic scenario.
Well, I feel like if Houston State's not the one, they're gonna play Lakers.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna play the Lakers.
They're not going to play the Lakers.
because the Lakers
You
are
don't think
the
so?
1
You don't
seed.
think we'll make the 8th seed?
The Lakers are not making the playoffs.
You don't think so?
No.
I think if
They're
they
like 6 games out, right?
yeah, they're on a 4-game winning streak right now.
Yeah. We won for the
Yeah,
first
but-
time in 10 years at Miami.
in
Oh
Miami.
my God.
That's-
You guys are like trying so hard.
Lakers Guardian podcast, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
so it's so I don't think that's happening.
You really like seriously though?
I don't
You
know
think
about
it's possible?
Lakers, but I think so. I definitely think like the Rockets and the Warriors make the 1 and the 2, and
Yeah.
they get past. But then like the 3-6 and the 4-5 could literally be anyone on that list, right? It could be Oklahoma City against San Antonio. It could be New Orleans against Portland. It
Yeah.
could be any of those matchups,
Anything.
even Denver or Utah or whoever like gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're all like within a few games. So it really depends on like if New Orleans plays against San Antonio, like I know San Antonio is, like
They're okay.
you give them the benefit of the doubt because they have Pop, but if Kawhi doesn't come back and they have Anthony Davis just literally posting up on LaMarcus Aldridge all day and he could average like 40 and 15 over a full series, like they might even win that series. So it really depends on what team they play in the first round, I think. Like I wouldn't be confident in any of those teams right now, except for the Warriors and the Rockets, at least.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's the same way for the East. I think we can give the Cleveland Cavaliers like just a little bit of a bump because they have LeBron, and that's what it's always been.
Mm-hmm.
But I would feel confident. I wouldn't even feel confident about the Celtics right now. I feel confident the Warriors are probably the Raptors are probably making out of the first round, regardless of which.
Whoever
but like
they play.
the Celtics might play the Sixers in the first round, and that's a bad matchup for them.
Horrible matchup.
So like they might not even make it out of the first round, and then
How are they 44-19 when they score like 85 points a game?
the Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They allow, I think, the least amount of points.
Okay,
for
but,
Never really
but then
good
don't they
defense.
score like the least amount of points?
Uh,
Probably like under the Hornets or something. I'm probably
they-
wrong.
It's 104.1, which is
They score 104 games, 104
It's
points.
per 100 per session, right?
I don't know. I'm just looking at.
Oh, it's per game. Okay.
That's I'm surprised by that. It's just every game I've watched, it always
Yeah.
seems like they struggle to score, but I guess stats say otherwise. So
I don't think that's gonna hamper them too much in the playoffs though, because they still have Kyrie. They just kind of give him the ball in
No,
the
but-
final 5 minutes. And
so
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
but the issue, like I was talking to my friend about this, the likes of Kyrie and Curry and Dame, you know, those small guards who during the season are unguardable. During the playoffs, like, you know, they still score, but you know, if they get locked up, like it's easy to lock them. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. Like they can't take over. They can't take over physically. You know what I mean? LeBron, KD, they have that physicality that like just because they're taller, and Kobe had that, right? Like where they can just take over the
I
game.
know what you mean. I wouldn't wage against Kyrie though, because we've seen him like
That's
just
true.
win a series, like win the finals for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, but he had Curry on him. If he had Clay, I think Clay would. Never mind.
No,
Nah, I'm
maybe,
playing.
but
Maybe.
you know, like they don't. There's not like that many like superimposing like point guards in
No.
the East either.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Like what if they play the Sixers? Like his direct opponent is gonna be what, T.J. McConnell? Like he should be fine, you know. Like maybe they put Ben Simmons on him, but Ben Simmons is gonna be slow.
J.J.
compared to
Redick.
him. Yeah, no, that's not.
Yeah.
That's not gonna help them. But like that's the thing. So, let's talk about the MVP race a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Harden's to lose.
Yes.
So let's talk about like situations in which other players could, because we've talked about AD, and I kind of want to go into that.
Yeah.
I saw something that said, should Damian Lillard be considered an MVP candidate?
He's been popping off recently, right?
He's averaging 26, 6-4 or 6-5.
Yeah.
And Portland just got up to the 4th seed in the West.
Yeah. He's been balling since the All-Star
Yeah.
break, right? Did they beat your Wolves yesterday?
My Wolves? I think they did actually.
I mean,
yeah.
you're a Wolves fan,
Yeah,
aren't you?
it's not my Wolves anymore.
13
Jimmy,
of
Jimmy
30.
Butler's injured. It's
Damn.
not.
He had
Disowned
13 of
them already?
35.
Yeah, I'm done.
He scored
This
35.
is gonna run everybody into the ground, anyways.
Damn.
So yeah. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Ooh, no response.
Ow.
Damian Lillard's also been averaging 37 points in the last 7 games.
Seriously?
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
That
he's
is
been
crazy.
he's been like doing ridiculous. I know from his free throw shooting has been like at least like 85% or something like that. Like
It's like a slow. It's like a small sample, but at the same time, you can see it. Like, it's like the MVP race is always like heavily skewed towards like the end of the season.
yeah, since
Just
after the All-Star
cause
break.
after
Mhm.
All-Star break, right? And like Harden is still like winning it.
Oh, did you see him drop Wesley Johnson?
Yeah,
Oh.
like he's still winning it.
Yeah.
But let's say like let's say Harden
Hypothetically,
is
right?
not there, then
Mhm.
it's like you would have like a race between like LeBron, probably Damian Lillard, and Anthony Davis,
Yeah.
and whichever Warrior is the best. Did you just say Lonzo? Randall. And like that would be way more interesting.
Yeah.
I don't care about the Rockets enough to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Would Damian Lillard be a? I
Is
don't-
Lillard being wasted on the Trailblazers?
I don't. The Trailblazers are just always mediocrely good.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I
I
mean?
feel like
they're like they just like they straddle mediocrity, but they're like a solid team. You know?
Yeah.
And
Like,
they're
I-
always like the 4th seed or something,
They're always better than you expect them to be.
but not good enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like I would constantly like wage against them, and then they win, and then they're like the 4th seed in the West. And
so
I'm
Yeah.
let's
just
put
like,
Lillard and Davis on a team together, and then
ooh.
that would be pretty nasty.
So a lot of people are trying to get Anthony Davis to go to Boston to pair with
Jesus.
Kyrie. That would be insane.
How can they
too.
fit that? Do they have the
Yeah,
money
they
for
would
it?
have to do like a sign and trade, but I don't think the Pelicans are gonna get rid of.
No, they don't do that.
So
now I really want to see Lillard and Davis on a team.
yeah,
together.
that's interesting. It's not
That'd
happening.
be so
Never, but
nasty.
It's
though.
definitely
so
not
good.
happening.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, so Portland. I don't know. I don't know about Portland. It's like the other teams. Like they could be bounced in the first round. Nobody would be surprised, and then they might. I don't think they match up well against the Warriors and the Rockets.
No, because they just get outscored.
Yeah, so they're not gonna make it past the second round. That's kind of like the limit for that team, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, who matches up well against the Rockets and the Warriors?
You know.
The Thunder.
Yeah.
The Lakers?
Not
yeah.
what?
The Thunder and the Lakers, but the Thunder especially.
The Lakers actually match up super badly against the Warriors now because the Warriors are just gonna play Clay and like gonna be able to rest.
I mean, we have Josh Hart.
I mean, he just broke his hand.
What?
Yeah, he broke his hand.
I didn't know that. I have not been following basketball that much, to be honest.
How
When?
dare you?
Wait, he broke his hand?
Yeah, I think he.
Did he punch something? Did he punch a fire extinguisher
No.
or picture frame
No.
or a chair?
No. I think he was playing basketball.
Oh,
The
Good
great
for
game
him.
of basketball.
what? Damn. Okay.
I think he just got surgery and
Okay.
he may return this season.
Okay, I promise I'll be
Okay.
more versed next week.
Let's go back. So who matches well against the Warriors in Houston? It has to be OKC, right?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
The thing is, like, if
who else has the?
I really want like Minnesota to make the leap, and they can't because if Karl Anthony Towns could be that guy, and he just hasn't. I don't know.
Is Thibodeau like the guy to take them? Because it just seems like he runs his teams into the ground. I mean, that's a.
No, I mean, he's Butler was averaging most minutes in the.
The thing is, like,
league, right?
Butler is
That's how he plays. Like,
Butler was the best player on that team, and he shouldn't have been the best player on that team. Like, I think Downs should be the best player on that team, and he never was during the season when Butler was not injured. And then Butler goes out, and suddenly they're like stuck with Wiggins, who like has taken a step back for like whatever reason. And it's just a weird like team construct because nobody can shoot, and without Butler, they don't have like the drive because I don't know if like Towns is like soft or anything like that, but he just like seems like it. Like this guy could like bully everybody. He's like the most like skilled big man out there outside of maybe Anthony Davis.
Davis is better, but yeah.
Yeah, I think Anthony Davis is better, but
he's
Cat is
up
also
there.
like younger
Mhm.
and he's super skilled. He can shoot threes. He can do all these things. He's like a boogie on like steroids.
He looks really awkward though.
Yeah, and that's
It's
the
weird,
thing. It's
right?
like he's not dominating. He's not taking control of games, and he could. And I don't know what's going on with that team, honestly.
They have no offense, I think. Have you?
Yeah, but they should be. I
No,
don't-
they just have. They have no They have no offense.
Yeah, they have no offense, but they also have no defense.
which is ridiculous. You know,
And they're like the 3 seed in the West.
like it's ridiculous how. Like I mean, Taj. I think Taj Gibson has just been balling for them. Taj will be Taj. You
my
know,
boy,
right?
my boy
Oh,
Taj
why?
Gibson.
Sorry.
No, he's been doing so well. Like I mean,
Taj Gibson is one of the most underrated players of the past 10 years.
dude, he's one of the best. Like I would want him as a role player on
Yeah.
just about any team.
Is this
no
really
doubt.
just like Bulls 2.0?
It
Now
is.
that I think about it.
No, it is,
They
more or
wanted to
less.
sign Derrick Rose. So,
Yeah,
you know,
and like the where is he right now? Is he still in
which
the Cavs?
it's not a good idea.
I
No,
don't know.
he was traded and bought out.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, I didn't. I
So
don't.
he
I have
doesn't
no
have a
idea
team
what's-
right now.
Damn.
Man.
The thing with them, like the thing with the Wolves is, the people who you think should be solid defenders, specifically Wiggins and
Yeah.
Cat, are probably like some of the worst defenders in the league. But I mean,
Yeah, and it makes no sense because Cat has there's so few good centers in the league right now. He should be able to at least be an above average defensive player.
yeah,
Like it's not like he has a lot to do.
no, right?
Like how do you guard Clint Capella? Just stay in front of him. Don't let him shoot.
And
Like it's not hard.
and he just gets feasted on, and
Yeah.
but he feasts on other people, so that's
Yeah, but it's not good enough.
No, it's not. And they're just somehow the third seed because of Jimmy Butler. So
They're one of
and
the
Cat.
most frustrating team in the league.
They
for
are
sure.
without a doubt.
Yeah.
But I think OKC is probably number one in terms of how frustrating.
Yeah, but
they are.
OKC's so OKC's like frustrating because like the players are frustrating. Like
Yeah.
Carmelo is easy to root against. Westbrook is also easy to be like, oh, this guy's super annoying. Minnesota is like frustrating because they're not accomplishing what they should be accomplishing.
without a doubt.
Like this team should be like the definitive number 3 in the West.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as how everything turned out this season, right? Like San Antonio dropped off, OKC doesn't have its shit together,
Mm-hmm.
etc. They should be that 3 seed. They should be like welcoming the 6 seed in the playoffs and being like we're winning the series 4-1.
Yeah.
And they might get bounced in the first round. It's so weird. I don't know.
Any thoughts, Alex?
Go Lakers.
Okay.
Can
No.
Can you hand me my Thai tea, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh
There you go.
god.
Lakers Guardian podcast.
Another team. So right now.
Oh, actually, I did have something to
Oh,
say.
okay. Yeah.
So I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, Thibs has been known for his teams with no offensive scheme and all defense, right?
But this is
Well,
no offensive
he's a
scheme.
defensive
No
like coach
defense.
at first. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So is it? Can we expect anything else like out of him? Like,
Yeah, but he never had the talent that he had before.
I mean, those Bulls teams were pretty darn good.
Yeah, but if you really look at it, those Bulls teams were kind of like the product, except for Derrick Rose, who was like a legitimate like top 5 player at least
They're all role players.
in the league. Like they were all role players.
Kirk
they were all
Hinrich.
like benefiting from the system.
Yeah.
It's true though.
Kirk Heinrich, man.
Like they played a starting 5 of Carlos Boozer, who they overpaid for years, who like was a good 18 and 10 per game, but
Yeah.
honestly just sucked. Like we
Yes.
could have traded him for like garbage. I would have been happy. And then Joakim Noah, who was like a legitimately like good defensive players, but was limited otherwise.
Very limited.
He's like a poor man's version of Marcus All, basically.
Yeah.
Just because he has like the touch and the shooting, and then they were playing Luol Deng and Rip Hamilton.
I mean,
Like that team was not a 60-win team like they were that one
No,
year.
that was all Rose.
That was all like Rose and Thibs like defense
Yeah.
stepping up.
Deng was good then, right?
Yeah. No, Deng was like he was solid.
He was fine.
Solid.
I didn't like cry over losing him though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and then now we cry because we have him. But
Yep.
that being
No.
said, Indiana's the 5th seed. Now, what do you like? Oladipo,
Who's
is that just strictly
who's the 4?
Washington,
Oh, that's awful.
right?
We have
I
this
don't want the Wizards to be in the playoffs. Like
we have this conversation every week.
But the Wizards are.
the Wizards are
It's
just
like-
awful.
But why they shouldn't be? They have.
I just don't like the players on the Wizards. I think that's like a personal thing. It's
Oh,
like,
you don't like John
it's
Wall?
like, I
You
feel
don't
like John
Beal?
Wall is like a crybaby, and then like Brad Beal's a good player, but
He's also
he's
a
like
What are you, Colin Cowherd?
he's like not a good enough ball handler for me to care about him,
What?
and he's not a good enough like shooter for me to care
What?
about him. Yeah, he's averaging like 38% from 3.
That's solid. Isn't that like
That's
league?
solid, but there's like that's league average.
Is it? Is it league average?
Just about. I think it's probably like 36 or some 37 or
Damn.
something like that. That means there's like so many other players who are shooting like so many players are shooting above 40%. I don't know. Do you really trust the Wizards if like John Wall doesn't come back and like Brad Beal is their best player and
No, if he
Otto
doesn't
Porter
come back,
Jr.
they're not-
is the second best player on that team.
They're not
Like,
doing anything if he doesn't come
that
back.
team is crap. I don't even know how they're winning. They're just winning because they're in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Yeah.
You put that team in the West, they get destroyed night after night. Like Anthony Davis goes for 50 against them.
Yeah, can Marcin Gortat
Yeah,
not do
like-
anything?
I don't know. They have like 6 good players.
But that being said, the whole just because they're in the East, like Philadelphia and Milwaukee are under. Like
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Milwaukee needs a coach. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They need like a change. They need like a. Philadelphia, I think, is just like 1 year away from being a top 4 seed in the East,
yeah,
and like a few injuries away, and a potential miracle with Fultz coming back.
yeah. Fultz.
Yeah, let's. Yeah,
I forgot he was a guy.
yeah. He's
straight
a
up.
number 1 pick in this year's draft. He hasn't played.
Philadelphia.
He's played 1 game, right? Or he hasn't played at all.
No, he played in the preseason, I think.
No, he's missed more. He's There's a stat yesterday. The Cavs
Than
fit
LeBron
Philadelphia.
James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's almost missed more games than LeBron has in his entire season.
Entire career.
Oh, career. Yeah, career. It's really
What were you about to say?
ridiculous.
Philadelphia 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, they're picking it up.
Toronto 9-1 in their last 10.
Oh man, they have Toronto. Dwayne Casey, man. Dwayne Casey.
The East is like has a clear like split between 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Now, like Detroit is not making the playoffs.
No, I don't think. Yeah,
Who's 8 in the East right now?
Heat.
Yeah.
Thanks
But
to
That's also bad.
They're 3-7 in their last 10, so they're
The Heat is slumping.
yeah.
The East has 7 good teams, and it's so frustrating. It's true. Like, do you really want the Heat and Detroit and whoever is number 10 in that conference to be in the playoffs?
no.
Is 10 Charlotte?
Yeah. Wow. The Knicks are doing worse than. Wait, is Porzingis out? He's out,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I remember.
Is he?
I remember he hurt
He's
his.
out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I know.
Or is ACL? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Damn, I'm forgetting everything.
Yeah,
okay.
the Knicks are cursed. It's fine.
Damn.
You know the Bulls are 2-8 in their last 10.
That's fine with me.
Oh, there's this
Keep on
Bulls-
losing.
There was this Bulls net sequence that looked like pick a basketball here.
There was this one like poster where like Mark Ant just got like destroyed,
Oh yeah.
and I was just like, I saw this and like on a regular basis, like a couple of years ago, I would have been like super offended, and I would have been like really mad
Yeah.
that happened, and I just did not care.
You're like, it's just the
I
Bulls.
was like, it's just a season, like just throw it away. Like I don't care anymore.
I feel it.
It's I've given in. At least they're actually embracing being bad. Like the past couple of seasons, they were fighting for like 9 or 8 spot, and I was just like, this makes no sense. They're gonna get bounced, and now at least they're just like, yeah, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like let's not like sign a 34-year-old veteran
Please.
to, yeah, let's.
Oh, you mean
God.
Bulls legend Dwayne Wade?
And
Dwayne Wade.
and Bulls legend Rajon Rondo.
Yeah.
When
Ronaldo was actually decent for that team. Dwayne
Yeah.
Wade was like paid $5 million to do nothing. I
Yeah.
swear.
and he just left for the Cavaliers.
It was awful. Yeah. Last season was I enjoyed this season of the Bulls much more than last season.
Mm. Yeah.
And yeah, and they were better last season, but this season is just so much like better.
Because you have Chris Dunn and Markkinen to
Oh
watch.
yeah, Chris
for
Dunn, the future of the franchise.
Remember when the Bulls were up 2-0 on the Celtics in the playoffs?
Oh man,
Okay.
that hurts. That hurts.
Oh man.
I still remember you telling me, like, I think the Bulls have a chance of just knocking the Celtics out, knocking out whoever they play in the
I think it
second
was
round.
Washington, right?
Yeah.
I really do believe that if Rajon Rondo hadn't like gotten
Yes,
injured,
yes.
like they would have made it past the Celtics,
Yes.
and they were a pretty good like matchup against the Wizards because they were like heavy on guards, and the Wizards were obviously heavy on guards.
Yeah.
It's all speculative, obviously, but and then they would have like been swept by the Cavaliers. Like I'm not saying like they would have made it to the finals, but there was like a path, like the matchups like aligned almost perfectly for them to make it to the conference finals.
That Rondo that Rondo was balling out.
Yeah.
Like that Rondo injury.
And like Butler was locked in, and it was
Yeah.
just they would have been like it would have been a good series against the Wizards.
That was a
I think.
heartbreaker. I was rooting
Yeah.
for them like so much. Actually.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm so vicious today, but sorry, buddy.
That being said, you know that link you sent about the bottom 8 teams?
Yeah,
Like it's still pretty close.
yeah. So bottom 8 teams, as of like a few days ago, lost 45 combined games in a row.
They're all going for
The
the
tank is on.
Yeah.
The only team not tanking in that group is the Nets because they don't have their pick.
Yeah.
The Lakers are not in that group, so they're not technically tanking.
We are not
You
tanking.
know,
Oh, yeah.
like
We're not doing anything.
you can at least like try to win. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So the Nets are definitely trying to win because they
Mhm.
don't care.
But they can't.
Can't believe that it's 2018 and they still don't have their first round pick. That is fucking crazy.
it sucks, dude.
That trade was in like 2012 or something, like
I think
2013,
so, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
They got like 3 first round picks like at 1 year interval. It was just I don't know what
Who's
happened.
their GM? Like
It was,
this guy should be fired.
It was this guy King. What's his,
I don't know.
He definitely got fired.
Yeah, like
yeah.
he
They have a new
literally
GM.
screwed the
That was
Nets
so bad.
for like for the past.
I really
10
thought that
years.
team would be good too. Brooke Lopez, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce,
Oh yeah.
Joe Johnson, and Darren
Oh.
Williams. That starting 5 was decent, and they just all got injured.
Oh,
Maybe if they
man.
got together like 3 years earlier, that would
Yeah.
have been like a. Where's Darren Williams now? That's a name.
Darren Williams.
No, he's not. He's
he
not
played on the Cavaliers last year,
And then
but
now
then
he's not in
I
that
think he's
team,
not
I
in the
think.
league anymore.
He's old. He's old and useless.
Well, yeah.
I feel like there was a time
It's like a
where
lot
it
of
was
players.
Chris Paul and him that were like
Damn.
top
that
2.
2006 draft class. 2005, sorry,
yeah.
draft class. Chris Paul and Darren Williams.
Darren Williams. Man.
Yeah.
He had this nasty step back. Man. Oh. Yeah, they're all.
It was
there's
Darren
so many
Williams and
teams.
Carlos Boozer. How like unlikable was that team though?
Oh man.
Man.
Remember the Lakers going like beating them in the playoffs like 4-1 and then 4-0 in like 2 straight years or something.
Kobe.
Oh, those were the days.
Utah, yeah.
Yo, that being said, now that we're on the Lakers, like
Oh yeah. We
no,
finally
we're
reached the
finally
Lakers.
here.
Who are
Even
the
though we've been
Lakers?
trying.
What? Sorry, I'm a Clipper fan.
What's going on with the Lakers?
Like as crazy as it sounds,
oh.
I think we have a chance at the 8th seed.
Okay, so give me
Okay.
the
So
records.
so
Who's the 8 right now?
8 is Denver at 33-28, right?
33.
We are 6 games out. We're 27 and 34.
You 7.5.
Yeah,
6.5
six
games.
and a half,
Yeah.
yeah. But we are riding a hot streak. Julius Randle is literally unguardable. I don't know how. Like
He's just
no, this guy. No, straight up. This guy, literally, has one hand. He only uses his left hand to
Only
score.
has one hand.
He only uses his left hand to score.
uh
I have not seen a right hand finish since like 30 games ago, right?
Since his time at Duke
No,
University.
it's ridiculous. Like I don't understand how people are not guarding him. And so that being said, Ingram has improved every month.
Ingram has become
right?
much better.
Yeah, and he also takes like amazing shots. Sometimes he takes really bad shots, but most of his shots are good shots. You know, they come within the flow of the offense. Isaiah Thomas he's been doing well. I think our system or just the way we play suits him better than.
Let him shoot. Is that the?
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the system.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
because he's the kind of player who needs to gun it, right?
Okay. I don't see them going above Utah.
No,
Like Denver might drop, but they would still have to go over the Clippers
and
and
Utah.
Utah. And I think the Clippers are doing pretty well, and Utah is
Yeah, they're both doing really well.
like Utah
yeah,
has a pretty like tough schedule remaining, but they're still like that team that got like 10 wins in a row or something like that. And I just don't see it. Like they might end up like close, but I don't see them
Okay.
making the playoffs.
that being
I
said,
like the enthusiasm though.
yeah.
I
They
think,
might have a positive record because I
Oh, that'd be so nice.
Yeah.
like if they get like it's very possible that like the 8th seed in the West is like a 47 win team.
Yeah.
And that the 9th seed is like a 45 win team, you know?
Yeah.
Like if the Lakers are a 45 win team, I would say that's like a successful season considering
Definitely.
everything.
No doubt.
Even if they don't make the playoffs.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I'd still rather be a 45 win team and not make the playoffs this year than like being in the East and getting like making the playoffs as a 38 win team,
Yeah.
you know? Like that's the difference. So I feel like if the Lakers get to like over 41, which
That'd
is
be
like the
nice.
cutoff of over like 500,
Yeah.
that would be like a successful season for them.
That'd actually be insane. Like,
The only thing is what happens with Isaiah Thomas. Do you guys re-sign Isaiah
I
Thomas?
don't
Is he gonna
know.
blow up the locker room? I don't know what's gonna
man.
happen with him.
He
All right.
seems to be happy
No,
right
yeah.
now. He scored 29 points last
Yeah,
night.
but
Yeah.
he wants the max extension.
Yeah.
he's not
Or
a
the-
max player.
Yeah.
No,
He's-
he was never a max player.
No, he's a
But-
midget. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
He's a
that's-
midget in the league.
Yeah, it's
He's my height.
it's like
I guess I'm a midget.
How tall are you again?
5'9", 5'10".
yeah,
I'm
he's like
short.
5'9", yeah.
I'm
Okay.
5'7".
I round up though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like I don't. That's gonna be interesting. I don't
Yeah.
know what he ends up.
Okay, so no more
Um,
Laker talk. But
Oh,
let's-
let's have more Lakers
Let's
talk.
quickly, let's round it up with a little bit of
trivia.
kind of Laker talk.
Sure.
Where does LeBron end up next year? So right now, there's four destinations. Either he stays with the Cavs.
Yeah.
I've heard obviously Lakers.
No.
I've heard the Rockets,
Oh,
and then I've heard people say he might go to Philadelphia.
That's what I heard too.
What do you guys think?
Philadelphia, huh?
He's a terrible basketball match for Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He literally
He's literally.
plays to the strength of all of Ben Simmons' strength.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Like, and Dario Saric and all of these guys, like they would have to get rid of all of them.
Pretty much.
It's I don't see the fit. I see why he wouldn't make the switch, but I don't see the fit.
I would say you need to look at the results that they have this year in the final, or
Yeah.
maybe in the
Yeah.
finals, but in the playoffs. Let's say they if they take Golden State to 7, maybe he stays. You know, they have a solid team in
They're
Jordan.
not taking Golden State.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
but
Why you're making that point.
depending on how badly they get stomped, I think
Yeah.
LeBron leaves. I don't know where he goes. I mean,
those are like the 4 teams that can afford them. All the
Yeah.
other teams are just like in cap.
yeah.
Like hell.
Wait, Houston can afford him?
Yeah, they're just gonna like
Get rid of
get
Anderson?
rid of a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay. Well, that being said, I mean, the Lakers are pretty everyone's been saying, "Oh, we're gonna get free agents." I don't.
Just because you guys have space, like that's the thing.
We
It's
have
like,
a ton of space.
like Chicago has space too, but like
Right.
nobody cares.
We have two. We have no, but we yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to go play with like Alonso and Ingram, or do you want to come play with Markkinen in Chicago?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean, you would, right?
I totally
I
would.
mean, we're playing really well right now, and I don't know. Like, we're re-signing Randall, I think, without a doubt.
I hope so.
Yeah, I would
So
hope. Not without a
that
doubt.
takes you out of
Not
the
with-
Paul George / LeBron James sweepstakes.
I guess not without a doubt, but I think we're re-signing Randall. But I mean, we have space for 2 maxes. We just dropped Cody Brewer.
Yeah.
Not if you
Wait, if we
sign
re-sign
Randall.
Randall.
I thought if we re-signed Randall, because we got rid of Clarkson. Since
Oh,
if
maybe.
we
Yeah.
re-signed Randall, I think
Depending
we
on
have
how much
we have a
you
lot of
pay
space.
Randall.
room
No.
for 1 max.
Yes.
I think.
So would you rather have Paul George or LeBron?
I'd rather
James?
have LeBron James.
I'd rather have Paul
I'd
George.
also rather have Paul George.
Yeah.
It's because
Yeah, because that way you can bridge the way for Ingram and Lonzo to be 26-year-old,
Fair enough.
like offensive, like really good guys,
That's
and Paul
true. I
George
don't
being
want-
32.
Yeah.
Because in 5
That's
years,
true.
LeBron's gonna be 38, and
Oh,
he
that's
might play
true.
until he's 38, but
That's true.
then you're just fucking up like your future.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess for championship now, I'd pick LeBron. But
yeah, no, for sure.
And for
But if I'm the Lakers and my 3 best players are 23 and under,
no, that's
I'm not thinking about next year.
You're
There's no
right.
point.
You're right. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think of missed fourth quarter shots, and that's why I don't want Paul George. But no, but he's a baller. And it'd be nice if we could have him.
But if the Lakers actually sit out this free agency and do wait until 2019, like they said they would,
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be okay with that.
I'd be.
I
pretty-
think that would be better for the Lakers.
Yeah.
because they can get. I think Kawhi can
Yeah.
end up there, and then you would be
Ooh.
like.
it
I
would-
think that's the way, but
If
I don't think that's.
you say
gonna happen.
Kawhi.
Yeah,
If Kawhi ends up in LA,
Kawhi is from LA.
I-
Oh, he's having an orgasm right now.
oh, but dude, that would be Ingram and Kawhi and
Yeah.
Randall out on the perimeter, like just locking down. Lonzo's like a pretty good defender.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good defender.
For a rookie point guard.
Not
I'm
not
gonna
a-
pretend
no,
like
he's
I
a-
did not hear you.
No, he's a pretty good defender. I'm not saying he's a premier defender or he's like a lockdown, but he's a pretty solid defender considering all like people are just like, oh,
Oh yeah,
he can't do
I
anything.
think
Totally
he's
solid.
fine.
Yeah, I mean,
He's fine because he's tall.
yeah, he's a 6'6" point guard.
But
He's
okay,
a better defender than like
Jeff Teague.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
that is,
all right.
that is not a comparison you
Okay.
want to make.
All right.
I just so this is from just my perspective, but it would mean so much more to me that if the Lakers won a championship like 5 years down the line, like off of like Ingram and like Randall. And all
Yeah.
those
Yeah, that's my
guys,
point.
That'd be
like,
You can add a max player, but if that max player is LeBron, he's gonna tell you like, oh, you need to sell this because we need to go to the we need to get to the finals next year, and that means that they have to be like potentially healthy
Yeah.
Minnesota Timberwolves, OKC if Paul George stays there,
Yeah.
and the Warriors and Houston.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, are Ingram and like Alonzo really ready for that now? I don't think they are. They might be at some point, but not like,
Randall
next
is.
season.
Oh wait. So I mean just Randall though. I think we keep him.
I would
Right.
keep him
And
if I was the Lakers.
I'd be scared if we didn't keep him, just because.
Mm.
Well, no, I mean just because like imagine a pissed off Julius Randle.
I would send him to like the same camp that Oladipo went to when he lost like 20 pounds in the offseason and became like the best player.
Well, I mean he lost like 20 pounds in the offseason and got like super ripped.
No, I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but-
much better than before.
But I would see him trashing like Kuzma. Like that's the reason. One reason I would not want to get rid of Randall is because watching him trash Kuzma would be just so sad.
Yeah.
Because because think about like
That's
he bullies like big centers. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
goes up against like everyone. He doesn't care. And
He's a poor man's Draymond.
but he's better offensively.
He's better offensively. Yeah. No, but I mean matchup wise. Like he can match up against centers just the same way as Draymond can, but maybe not as well in that sense.
He match up against guards.
That's true.
It's ridiculous how well he stays in front of guards.
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean that being said,
I would keep him, but then like I mean it depends on what happens. I really wonder like how it's gonna like turn up with Isaiah Thomas hitting free agency and stuff like that. I don't think they should resign him, but it's you never know.
Yeah.
Like he's probably gonna ask for the max. He is not worth the max. I don't know who would pay him the max. I'd rather have Lou Williams at like $7 million a year than whatever contract Isaiah Thomas is gonna get. But it'll be interesting to see like how this summer works out.
We're probably gonna need a new sixth man. Or would Kuzma fill that role? Or would we have Randall starting at center or something, and then?
No, we play. Is Brook Lopez's contract up this year?
Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know what goes on. I mean, Zubac has been playing pretty.
Oh yeah,
well,
he has.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, like he's been playing well.
The center of the future.
That's so soft.
Oh my God.
And Kuzma takes so many bad shots.
He does.
But I don't want to talk. I don't even want I don't really want to talk about the Lakers.
You're jinxing it.
Yeah. No, like, I know you don't watch like Laker games because you're not a Laker fan, but
Yeah.
Kuzma takes really bad shots. He takes
Yeah.
Kobe shots, and he's not Kobe.
Yeah.
And the reason he balled out, I mean, so the whole rookie wall aside, the reason he was balling out is because he was taking like shots in transition or shots, like where he was fading away, or I mean fading out, right? Shots where he was open or relatively open, but now he's trying to go 3-on-1, Kobe pull-up jumper, fadeaway, fadeaway pull-up jumper, and it's like that's not your game.
Yeah.
His shot. Anyway, enough about that guy.
Somewhere out there, someone is playing a drinking game and taking a shot every time we force Lakers conversation.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Someone's probably
We should
dead
do
right
that. Okay. One last thing I want to mention is that there's like 7 to 8 teams tanking, and there's like a top tier of like 7 to 8 players in the draft. It's gonna be really, really interesting, like where each of them ends up. Just because it really drops off after them.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
But for people who don't watch college ball,
Yeah.
who are players / teams, like the teams that they are, who are players to watch or teams to watch?
So if you're really interested in the top top prospects, you have Trae Young, Oklahoma. You have Duke, as usual.
Wait, it's March. When does March Madness start?
Yeah, next weekend.
So yeah, get on that.
So let's all make a bracket.
Let's talk about that next week.
Yeah, let's do that next week. Selection Sunday is next
Okay.
weekend.
Oklahoma, Duke.
Oklahoma, Duke. You have Michigan State, who's going to be really good. That's only if you're looking for prospects. Like if you're looking for good like college teams, then there's other teams. But those Arizona, if DeAndre Ayton continues to play, but that's a big four. And then a few players.
Kentucky doesn't have anything. Calipari didn't go snipe some.
Kentucky's probably gonna have a couple or like maybe 3 players in the 15 to 30 range.
Oh yeah, but no like.
Yeah, their top player is Kevin Knox, and nobody talks about him. So that's kind of all you need to know. Like he might end up like a 13 or 14 pick, but there's no like transcendent talent. And then you have the kid from Europe.
Kobe a 13th pick?
Something like that around
I
there.
don't know. Transcendent talent.
How's Louisville doing?
They just lost in the first round of the ACC tournament. That's all I
Okay.
know about them. Yeah. On like a last second shot from Virginia. It was. You should look that up. Actually, it's pretty cool. But yeah, there's a. Huh?
Oh, have you seen some of the UCSD men's basketball team games lately?
I've looked at them. Why?
Okay, like a week ago, like they lost on like a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
And then I think they recently won a game in like double overtime.
Tuesday.
Like off of a.
Yeah, the first game of the CCAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were playing in the CCAA tournament. I think it was Dominguez Hills, right? Stanislaus State.
I don't remember.
But
I don't know. But
Stanislaus.
they were,
Sports
yeah,
Editor.
like the guy like grabs a rebound and just like throws it up. It was pretty intense. I think he got fouled too on that. Like
Did he? Oh,
I think so, and he made it.
Who grabbed the rebound? Was it
It was just
Michael
tipped.
Shoemaker?
It was just like tipped outside.
Oh.
Anyways, we'll be back next week, and we'll probably dive into college basketball a little bit since March Madness is right around the corner,
And we're doing shots.
and we're doing shots.
Laker Nation.
And we're not doing shots actually. We're gonna be cutting this out of the podcast.
Shots of beer.
We're cutting this out
Everyone
of the podcast.
here is 21 and up.
Shots of orange juice.
I'll be 22. I'll give 1 year to Richard, and he'll be 21.
Okay, can you for real? Can you stop? So we'll be talking about the college I think it starts next weekend. I think Selection Sunday is next weekend. Anyways, we'll be back next week. Yeah.
Yep.
See ya.